Right now at 5, an update on the state Supreme Court's search for the source of a leaked document to the media last summer.
And how the city of Madison is trying to make housing more affordable, one family at a time.
And a wheel tax is coming to Fitchburg. We speak with city officials about how it works.
Thanks for staying with us tonight, everybody, at 5 o'clock. You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
And we do have some breaking news. A Florida man arrested for allegedly planning a mass shooting was also found to have communicated with the Madison Abundant Life Christian School shooter.
The arrest affidavit suggests Damian Blade Allen and the 15-year-old shooter exchanged messages for months on TikTok. Allen was arrested for impersonating a law enforcement officer and was found with several weapons.
2 new homes are move-in ready on Madison's southwest side, completing one of the city's affordable housing development projects.
Our Meryl Hubbard introduces us to a first-time homeowner as she gets ready to move in.
At first, my husband and I were like, oh, we don't want to do homeowning. There's a lot of responsibilities to that, right?
Getting serious about owning a home is the start to a typically long process.
There's no one there that's going to hold your hand.
Elsa Floyd moved to Madison with her husband and 2 kids in 2015. Last November, they decided to move on from renting.
You have to have that determination.
Now, Elsa and her family are moving into their first home.
It's a different vibe when you can call it your own, you know.
It's part of our work to make sure that people in our community have the choices that they need to live in the neighborhoods that they want to live in and in the type of housing that they want to live in.
Mayor Satie Rhodes Conway says that 2 houses, including Elsa's, are the final puzzle pieces to complete the Mosaic Ridge development project.
It does require subsidy to provide affordable homeownership opportunities in Madison.
The City of Madison, the Madison Area Community Land Trust, and the Wisconsin Partnership for Housing Development all work together to bring these 2 homes off the ground. But what does it mean to qualify for affordable housing?
It's based on the area median income and what your income is in relationship to that, and then also the size of your family.
For Elsa, qualifying for affordable housing was the start to her ownership journey. And now she's ready for the responsibilities that come with it.
All the hard work is done, right? Because there is a lot of paperwork and documents that you have to hand in to these agencies in order to qualify for, maybe like down payment assistance and that sort of thing. So I think it's a sense of relief now that we feel. So, now the hard part is moving in.
Reporting on Madison's southwest side, Meryl Hubbard, News 3 Now.
And to see if you qualify for affordable housing or learn more about home ownership, you can find more resources at our website, channel3000.com.
Wisconsin home sales in March fell 10.2% compared to this time last year, with a slight decline in year-to-date sales. The supply of homes remains low in our area, pushing the median home price up by 7.3% to $300,500. High mortgage rates and economic uncertainty are holding back both buyers and sellers, though new home construction is expected to rise due to limited existing inventory.
President Trump urging patience after new government data shows the U.S. economy shrank in the first quarter of the year for the first time in 3 years. The 0.3% decline comes as businesses around the world are adjusting to President Trump's new tariff policies. In an interview with ABC News, the president pushed back on concerns that his tariff strategy is hurting the economy and small businesses. Other members of his administration are downplaying that downturn as well.
We had a fairly extraordinary surge of imports that was totally driven by the rest of the world trying to get their products in here before the tariffs took full hold.
The Commerce Department reports that March showed a nearly 1% increase in consumer spending, mainly around cars and other tariff-affected purchases. The report also showed a nearly 3% drop in energy prices, but a 0.5% rise in the price of food.
Let's get a check on the weather now. It is the last day of April.
Yes.
Tomorrow is May 1st, and one more round of April showers before we say goodbye to the month. Right, Alex?
That's right. That's right. We're waiting for those showers to start falling from the sky. They will eventually for parts of the area. Let's start looking at radar 3000 right now to see if we see any raindrops out there. Perhaps some raindrops over southwest Wisconsin, Crawford, Richland counties, and maybe a couple drops down towards the Wisconsin-Illinois border. But I can tell you, being out here on the patio, when I look at the skies, the way the skies present themselves tell me the air is dry. We've heard this story before. When the air is dry near the surface, those raindrops, they try to make it down to the ground and they evaporate before they make it to the surface. But that rain will eventually make it to the ground. Next couple days, looking at about a quarter to half inch, especially for areas Madison, south and east. In Maine weather, in a few minutes, I'll take us through Future Track and take us through the whole next couple of days of the chances of showers and maybe an isolated thunderstorm. Because it hasn't started raining yet, we got 63 in Madison, 64 to the west up in Viroqua, and we'll tie that in Lone Rock right now. Here in Dane County, we've got 63, 64, how about a 65 out in Cross Plains on Highway 14. And as we plan our evening, temperature staying in the 50s, cloudy skies. Eventually those raindrops will make it to the ground. Again, in Maine weather, we'll show you who will get those raindrops first, when those raindrops will peak, and when the raindrops will end in a few minutes.
Alex, thank you. The Wisconsin Supreme Court says it has not been able to determine who leaked a draft document to the press last June.
Chief Justice Annette Ziegler released a report of an independent investigation that says the findings are, quote, inconclusive. The investigation stems from the case Urmansky versus Planned Parenthood, which challenged Wisconsin's 1849 abortion ban. A confidential draft was published by Wisconsin Watch on June 26th. All 7 justices condemned the breach, and security issues found with the investigation are being looked into. Starting next week, the TSA will require a real ID to board flights or to enter federal buildings. 64% of Wisconsinites already have one marked by a star in the top right of your ID card. To upgrade before your next renewal, use Wisconsin DMV's online driver's license guide to see the required documents and get a printable checklist. There is no extra fee charged for a real ID upgrade.
Well, tomorrow, of course, May 1st, and for many it means the blooming of flowers and warmer spring weather. For others, it is the start of No Mow May, an effort to help out pollinators and early flowering grasses by letting that lawn grow. The city of Verona, for example, says it does not enforce the length of lawns and grasses until the 1st of June. So if you're participating in the annual effort, you can pick up a free yard sign there, at least in Verona, at City Hall.
May is also wedding season, and the Better Business Bureau is warning of a new wedding photographer scam. Scammers are taking couples' money and disappearing before the big day. Victims of this scam report photographer cancellations days before the wedding, and then they never get their money back. To protect yourself, the BBB recommends searching bbb.org to find accredited photographers. Make sure you use caution on social media. If possible, pay with a credit card to ensure the possibility of a refund if your service is not provided.
A new Intuit survey reveals a wave of financial stress among Gen Z and millennials. 69% of those surveyed say long-term planning is out of reach, and 98% blame the cost of living. The survey shows many are delaying major life plans, nearly 50% delaying travel, 30% postponing home ownership. 4 in 10 Gen Zers are now moving back home with their family.
Madison students took center stage today, giving some powerful speeches about issues that matter most to them. Since 2018, the Madison School District has been partnering with Mikvah Challenge to give students a platform to raise their voices. Around 120 students from 6th grade to high school participated in the Soapbox event, presenting to community leaders and peers.
We have civic partners from professors from UW, from the president of Edgewood, we have lawyers, we have state legislators, so we have all types of folks like that the kids get to share and have interactions with.
Mo says in years past, one student who spoke up about autism was invited to speak at the state capitol. In a few weeks, a student from Wright Middle School will deliver their speech on a national level.
And today is National Apprenticeship Day, a celebration of workers and students gaining real-world on-the-job skills. And here in Wisconsin, Governor Tony Evers says that a record high 11,300 students are now enrolled in the state's youth apprenticeship program. It marks the 4th straight year of growth for the program. And there are more than 7,400 employer partners. And most school districts also participate. The most prominent apprenticeship path is health science, followed by manufacturing and then marketing.
Well, you're taking a live look at Lambeau Field as the cleanup from the NFL draft continues. In the days following the draft, as you can imagine, there was a lot of food left on the table, but one Green Bay nonprofit made sure it got back to the community. Rooted in Ink donated over 3 tons of food to 13 shelters and nonprofit programs around Green Bay.
And the goodwill doesn't stop with just the food donations. The Packers Green Team is reclaiming and repurposing materials like wood, fencing, and flagpoles to reduce waste from the major event. Of course, some will be donated to the Packers Hall of Fame. Other materials will be used by Habitat for Humanity and also the Red Cross, all part of an effort to make sporting events greener and more sustainable. Chief Meteorologist Alex Harrington returns next. He'll have your complete First Warn forecast.
And there's a new wheel tax in Fitchburg. We'll take a look at the narrow margin and the way in which the measure passed next at 5.
And on Wall Street today, the gains continue for the Dow, up almost 142 points. The NASDAQ falls 15. S&P 500 adds a little more than 8. We'll be right back.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
Now to the continuing coverage of new vehicle registration fee in Fitchburg.
Earlier this month, the city's Common Council passed the new fee in a 5-4 vote, with the city's mayor, Julia Arata-Frada, serving as the tiebreaker. News 3 Now's Jalen Banks spoke with city officials on why they took this route to pass it.
After a referendum failed to pass on the 2024 November ballot, the city of Fitchburg sought alternative options, leading them to a municipal vehicle registration fee. I spoke with the city on why they took that path earlier today. On April 8th, Fitchburg's Common Council voted to pass a vehicle registration fee. It passed with a 5-4 vote, with the city's mayor serving as the tiebreaker. This would be an additional $40 to any state and county registration fees. This comes after a referendum on the November 2024 ballot failed to pass. And speaking to the city's administrator, he says at the April 8th Common Council meeting, residents voiced their displeasure with the proposed measure.
And while I certainly recognize that this is not necessarily a popular legislative action by our Common Council, and there were a number, I think roughly around 20 people or so that came to the meeting and spoke out against it, and there were also some emails forwarded to Common Council that were in opposition to this particular matter.
He also says although it is a difficult decision, it's one the city's representation felt was necessary.
Ultimately, the Common Council had made the determination, much like I believe every other municipality that's implemented this fee, that it was not going to take it to a referendum question, that it was just going to be a legislative action based upon the fact that council members had been elected by their respective districts to represent the community as a whole.
For now, reporting in Fitchburg, Jalen Banks, News 3 Now.
Thank you, Jalen. The Verona Police Department says it's getting ready to host its 10th annual Bike Safety Rodeo. It's planned for Saturday, May 17th, and will go from 11 to 1. The family-friendly event will promote safe cycling for kids through skill stations like driveway ride-out and controlled braking. There will also be a raffle for a free bike, free food, safety checks, and free bike licensing.
Time to get a look at your full First Warn forecast. Here's Chief Meteorologist Alex Harrington. Alex?
And we got some showers tonight through Friday in that forecast. The weekend's looking pretty nice out there and a warm-up's on the way. Those are the 3 things you have to get out of our forecast tonight. So all good stuff, just got to get through some shower chances first. Now, Radar 3000 here showing this spattering of green across the area, but a lot of this is not making it to the ground because the air is so dry, and part of that is seen here in our Mallard sky cam. Cloudy skies, but no raindrops are actually making it to the ground because at the ground, the relative humidity, upper 30s to lower 40%. That's really dry, so raindrops try to fall through that and then they evaporate. But eventually they will make it to the ground a little bit later as we head out towards midnight. A couple showers, Lone Rock, Mineral Point, become more widespread as we go through the evening. Again, last night I said U.S. Highway 151 and south and east, better chances for those showers, lesser chances to the northwest towards the Dells. Now that's the way it looks looks like it's going to pan out tonight. Then a couple more scattered shower chances as we go through the daytime on Tuesday. Again, I like to say just about everybody stands the chance of getting wet. You just everybody won't get wet, and we all won't get wet at the same time. More scattered shower chances, maybe a rumble of thunder or two as we go into Thursday night, and then we just repeat this again on Friday. A couple scattered showers in the area, but I think the Friday chances will be less across southern Wisconsin. Better chances for that water lining up is going to be to the south and east, although this is down a bit from yesterday, about 1/4 to 1/2 inch at most, maybe sneaking out 3/4 of an inch down towards Janesville and areas over towards Elkhorn as well. Tonight's forecast, again, those showers building in, the clouds holding temperatures up, seasonably mild for this time of year. 40s to right around 50 degrees. Better chances for those showers again. Madison and points off towards the south and east, north and west towards Camp Douglas. You might just have a cloudy and mild night. Not as mild as it is out there right now. That's because we've got clouds and those few showers as we go into Thursday, and it won't be an all-day washout, just on and off shower chances. 63 here in Madison right now, 61 in Janesville, that warm spot. Camp Douglas, 66, we'll tie that right now in Boscoville at 66 degrees. And here in Dane County, it's the battle of the 63s and the 64s and the 65 winds down the road on Highway 14 and Cross Plains. Planning our evening, again, clouds out there. I think those showers are going to hold off till a little bit later in the evening. Temperatures 9 o'clock still in the 50s. That's not too bad for this time of year. And there are those raindrops finally making it into the forecast here in Madison. 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, heading towards the early morning hours as we head into Thursday. That's really the only rain chance out there as we go towards Friday. Temperatures of 61. Look at that weekend, 61 degrees on Saturday, 69 on Sunday. During the 6 o'clock newscast, I'll give you a glimpse of what are the winds going to be like on Saturday and Sunday, because sometimes in the spring we got nice temperatures, but it can be a bit on the breezy side. And then I promise you a big warm up next week at 6. I'll also let you know how far above normal are those temperatures Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. A big warm up on the way. Get out those shorts and get ready to enjoy a nice stretch of spring weather.
All right, Alex, thank you. Just ahead, an update on the tragedy in central Illinois when 4 young girls were killed as a driver plowed through a building. That story is next at 5.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5. Moving forward.
We are learning more about the victims of that horrific accident in central Illinois when a car plowed through a school building. Vigils were held yesterday to honor the 4 young girls who were killed.
We're also learning new details about the woman behind the wheel. Ian Lee has the latest from Chatham, Illinois.
Tonight we gather in the shadow of grief, but we do not gather alone.
In this tight-knit community, many here in Chatham are turning to each other as they mourn the loss of 4 young lives they say were taken away too soon.
She had her whole life ahead of her, and she was just a fantastic kid.
Mark Lewis was 18-year-old Riley Britton's soccer coach for 5 years. He said she had dreams of becoming a teacher, which is why she participated at the Why Not after-school youth camp. But that dream was shattered when a car barreled through the building on Monday, killing her and 3 young girls, including 7-year-olds Alma Bunnercampy and Catherine Corley and 8-year-old Ainsley Johnson.
Somebody rolled through the daycare.
There's 4 kids.
Police identified the driver as 44-year-old Marianne Akers, a former food service employee at Chatham Elementary School. Illinois State Police say they don't believe the crash was intentional, but want to know why her car left a road, crossed a field, and plowed through the building.
My wife and I both heard several loud bangs. We had seen a car had hit, and so I called the police immediately, thinking that a driver had gotten into an accident.
Neighbor Taylor Godwin, who witnessed the crash, says this center is always packed with children.
You never imagine that can happen in your community. It's a terrible situation to see anybody who's been killed, especially a child.
Here at the crash site, there is a growing memorial. You can feel the sense of community as they unite behind the words Chatham Strong. City leaders have ordered flags to be flown at half-staff. And yesterday, an ice cream parlor offered free scoops to bring some cheer during this troubling time. Meanwhile, the driver has not been charged, and the results of her toxicology report are pending. Ian Lee, CBS News, Chatham, Illinois.
A GoFundMe has been started to help the families of the 4 girls. So far, it has raised over $170,000.
And we'll have a final check of your first warn forecast after a short break. Well, coming up tonight at 6, today is Denim Day, and we'll speak with local groups on how they're showing support for sexual assault survivors. Again, that story and more. Top of the hour on News 3 Now at 6.
Well, meet Madison's 2 newest residents. How cute are these 2? This is Ginger and Wasabi. They are 2 new North American river otter pups at the Henry Vila Zoo. Can you hear them squeaking? They sound like little birds. The zoo plans to debut them this Saturday for their Party at the Planet event, and you can be at the zoo and meet them. They were born February 8th and will be visible to the public from 9:30 to noon most days. The Party for the Planet includes tree climbing, wildlife conservation activities, and some upcycled stuffed animal rhinos for sale. It's all to support conservation efforts.
They are a big hit at the Vila Zoo, no doubt.
It's going to be a great day on Saturday for a stroll through the zoo.
Yeah, beautiful day Saturday. 61, sunny skies. I'll let you know during the 6 o'clock newscast about the winds, but it's good news, so you probably read between the lines.
Okay.
Tonight we got some showers, though, that we're tracking that are going to eye up U.S. Highway 151, let's say Dodgeville up to Madison to Beaver Dam and point south and east towards Janesville. You got that better chance for rain, lesser chance for rain to the north and to the west up towards Camp Douglas. Then as we go into Thursday, temperatures upper 50s, a little cooler today because of clouds and some scattered showers around the area. Can rule out a rumble or 2 of thunder. But there's that nice weekend that we were talking about, 61 on Saturday, 69 on Sunday, sunny skies, and then look out into next week. Temperatures in the 70s by day, upper 40s to near 50 by night. Got to give you the facts there. That's close to June-like weather that we're heading towards. Yeah,
it's getting a lot better than what it's been.
Yes.
There was snow a couple years ago on Mother's Day, so I always remind people of that. Alex, thanks. We're back in a half hour on News 3 Now at 6. CBS Evening News coming your way next. Stay tuned.